deal on Greece. That's what we can expect from Eurozone finance ministers on Tuesday in talks hastily arranged after they were meant to have reached a deal last week. So will it be a deal or yet another fudge? Out now to Gilles Moek, he's senior economist at Deutsche Bank. Gilles, is the best we can hope for now some sort of deal cobbled together to keep Greece afloat for the next 2 years, not 10 years?
Yes, at least this is the kind of message we got from the ECB through the voice of Rasmussen. I guess that at this stage we have two schools of thought. We have on the one hand the IMF, which is pushing for some kind of long-lasting, once-and-for-all solution on the one hand, and the European governments and the Commission on the other side of the equation asking for basically a fudge or a very short-term agreement. The ECB was probably somewhere in between, intellectually closer to the Fed, to the IMF, but at the same time probably more cognizant of the political constraints in Europe. So this message from the ECB would tell me that, yes, what we are heading to this week is probably an agreement that would keep Greece out of trouble for the next year or so before getting to what would be a real solution to the country, which is a deep involvement of the official sector, which would involve actually probably a massive rescheduling of the EU loan to Greece. But I would not expect this before the federal elections in Germany in September of next year. OK, so that basically what we're going to see then is that the IMF is going to lose out on this now very public battle. The IMF is going to lose. The IMF is a minority stakeholder now in the second loan program to Greece. So in any case, if things turn absolutely atrocious, which I don't think, it is not absolutely crucial to the overall financial arrangement to support Greece. On top of this, I would not expect the IMF to push things to the extreme, basically to take what is for the time being a kind of intellectual and technical disagreement with the Europeans into something of a more political nature that would send a very negative message for the periphery in Europe in general. So I would expect, yes, the IMF to somewhat back down at some point this week.
OK, and just one word, we can expect the next funding tranche, the next aid tranche of €31.5 billion for Greece to be approved tomorrow.
At least a substantial part of this tranche, yes. What I would expect, actually, from the Europeans, and we've heard lots of things around this last week, would be the possibility to disburse in one go not just the ongoing tranche, but what has been suspended for now more than 6 months, so that we would fund Greece for more than just the next few months to give the market some kind of visibility on the matter.
OK, but what about the funding gap created by extending Greece's deadlines and targets for 2 years? We're talking 33 billion euros of extra funding that has to be found. Of all the options on the table, what are the most likely to be agreed upon tomorrow, do you think?
Well, there's, first of all, the idea that we would ask the Eurosystem, as they actually agreed to in principle in February of this year, to retrocede the profits they're currently making on their holdings of Greek government bonds, to retrocede them to the member states, which would then recycle it to Greece. Again, the agreement in principle was made in February. There's no reason to think that the ECB has changed its mind on this. Second, the possibility for Greece to issue more treasury bills in the market. This is dependent on the ECB again. They have to accept to increase the ceiling of the ELA that allows Greek banks to purchase those T-bills and repo it at the Bank of Greece. But I would expect the ECB to accept this kind of arrangement. And finally, probably another extension of interest rate relief on the EU loan to help square the equation.
OK, we're talking about Greece. The focus nominally is on Greece, but where does Spain fit into this? Because Spain's not been ring-fenced yet from all these problems, and that must be a source of concern.
Definitely. Spain is, for the time being, trying to ride the wave of, virtual intervention, in the sense that it's very hard for fast money in particular to try to short Spain's situation where they could get squeezed very quickly if Spain requests support from the ECB and the ESM. It's kind of self-fulfilling approach. So fast money is probably not really making the decision to push Spain into asking for support. But real money may do so, because honestly, the news flow we're getting from Spain is at the moment quite negative. We've heard from Moody's, for instance, this idea that the drift in the fiscal target was quite negative. We heard from Catalonia this idea that they would ask for a renegotiation of their fiscal targets for next year. The macro situation there remains very, very complicated. NPLs continue to rise, which puts the bank recapitalization process a little bit in doubt. I don't think that with this kind of news flow, Spain can continue to ride this virtual intervention wave for much longer.
OK, Gilles, thank you very much. My thanks there to Gilles Moik, co-head of European Economics Research at Deutsche Bank. For a look ahead to Tuesday's key events, watch Europe Day Ahead. That's available from 4:30 London time. I'm Jamie McGeever. This is Reuters.